afternoon on December 8th, and this is Aperture and Shutter Speed, the photography radio show where you can learn and share your love for photography. I'm your host, Chelsea Williams. Also with me is Dick Schissler, who is the film and video enthusiast. Today we have guest Ellen O'Reilly, who is a local photographer that I met at the Conroe Art League. And so we're going to hear all about Ellen today. Welcome, Ellen.
Thank you very much.
Before we start picking your brain about everything you do, I was just going to go over a couple of things that are going on locally. The Woodlands Camera Club is going to have a few things you might want to put on your calendar. On January 4th, they're going to do a club meeting, and Lou Vest is going to be going over, I guess, his pictures that are Houston is the America's Port, from 7 to 9. And also on January 10th is the composition, the fine art of seeing. And that's the Woodlands Camera Club. You can go to woodlandscameraclub.org. And the Woodlands Photography Club is about to have their Christmas party on December 14th. It's club meeting / Christmas party. And they also have a regular club meeting January 11th. So you can go to woodlandsphoto.org to see all of their events. And don't forget today, if you need help with your camera, whether you have a cell phone or you have a fancy camera that you don't know how to get off automatic, you can go see Ed Gorman at the Conroe Art League from 2:30 to 6 today, and he will help you with that. So here's my question I ask at the beginning of every show. What kind of pictures has everybody been taking? And, I mean, I know it's holiday, so I've been taking a ton of Christmas family pictures. So anybody that's open for discussion, anybody listening can comment on Facebook with what you've been doing. How about you, Ellen? What have you been taking pictures of lately?
I take a lot of holiday pictures to make cards from, because that's one of my things that I do is make my own designs, and then I hand glitter them, and I've been selling those. So I did pretty well this year with that.
Oh, that's nice. I think, having something handmade and handcrafted is great. Get away from all the store-bought stuff. What about you, Dick? What have you been doing?
Very similar to we all been shooting. My family usually calls me out and has me take some photos. And then I took friends' photos for Christmas. And then I went to, I just forgot the name, so Green Park in Houston, Discovery Green Park, for the Human Rights Festival on Saturday. And I took a bunch of pictures. It was such a beautiful day, and there were some nice colors, and I just kind of walked around and took pictures.
Yeah, It was a really great weekend for pictures. I was extremely happy with this weekend and how it turned out. It was just beautiful. Got a lot of good pictures.
That's it. That's what I've been shooting.
That's it. Christmas. I think that's everybody's going on. Christmas family pictures. Okay, well, Ellen, I do have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So, how did you first get interested and started in photography?
I think as a young girl, my parents were both into photography and doing home movies and things like that. But my mom and her parents, too, were really into it. And they had one of those old box cameras that they called brownie cameras. And that was fascinating to me. And so I think the talent and the interest were inherited at that point. And then eventually I got a camera for Christmas and started just shooting shots here and there, and really got more and more interested as time went on. I became as big a shutterbug as my mom was. So,
what did your mom photograph most? Just pictures of y'all and pictures of family, or
she did a lot of nature pictures and artistic type pictures. Same type of things I like to do.
So you followed right in her footsteps with the artistic
Pretty much,
stuff.
Yeah. Except that one little thing I do differently is I take a picture and then I'll work on it digitally and change it entirely into something else, and some kind of piece of art. So.
Yeah, the times have definitely changed how we process pictures and how we do it as art. But that's nice that you're interested in something your parents were interested in. This past weekend, I took Cheyenne, who's my daughter, who's 7, on a photo shoot with me, and the client knew that it was going to be okay. And I was trying to get her to learn to hold my reflectors and do stuff like that, but I think she's still a little too young because she got a little silly, but
Yeah, yeah.
but I figured if I start training her young, that's a good way to do it.
Right. All that exposure always helps.
Yeah. So maybe eventually, after many years of being an unpaid intern, maybe she'll figure it out. So you classify yourself as an artist, right?
I classify myself as a photographic artist.
A photographic artist.
Yes.
So
because of taking the photograph first and then working with it to make it into a piece of art.
Mm-hmm. What is usually your process to turn it into art?
Well, I have a digital program that I use, and I will, let's see where it was here. I'll combine different effects and refine tones and hues and the lights and shadows. I'll put filters on. I'll even do some layering or change the color entirely so that the end product is a actual piece of art, and you wouldn't even know the photograph sometimes, right? From what I've made it into. But I also do traditional photography.
When you make your digital art, do you just print it as a print? Or I know that I saw a canvas that you did for the Art League. So what's your favorite, I guess, thing to print?
Well, right now what I'm doing is printing on transparent paper. And for that, I have to make the colors extra vivid and everything because the light will be shining through. And then I put them sandwiched in between glass. It's a glass block frame that's freestanding. And it kind of looks like stained glass or painting on glass, but it's a really pretty effect.
I would like to see that.
I also do, I can do canvases. I've printed on metal. Just regular prints. Yeah. Anything. I've got a website that you can really do all that on.
What's your website?
It's through Fine Art America, and it's Ellen O'Reilly artistwebsites.com.
Okay. So what is Fine Art America? So that's what you use to sell your work, right?
Right. And Fine Art America has everything set up for you. It all I really have to do is put my work on there and all the information that goes with it. And then if someone clicks on a picture, it automatically populates all the different things you can do with it, all the different ways you can combine mats, frames, what it will look like, and it will also give you a price when you put in a size that you want. So it's really simple and user-friendly.
You think that's why you picked that particular company? Because there's...
Yes. I was with Smug Mug for quite a while, and that's a photo program website. You have your own web page and everything. But it wasn't quite as easy as this, and this is just... I think it makes it not only easier for me, but for my clients to order. Yeah.
That's really neat that it's a way for people to buy your art online. Do you mind? I think we're going to take a little break, and then I'm going to have several more questions for you.
Okay.
So if you'll stay with us for a little bit longer, this is Aperture and Shutter Speed, and we'll be right back. Mama, don't take my
clothes away. Our community's animal shelters cannot absorb accidental litters of kittens and puppies. Approximately 80% of the animals entering our shelters will not make it out alive. Please help be a part of the solution. Please spay and neuter your pets. Many low-cost options are available. Visit TexasLitterControl.org to learn more. That's TexasLitterControl.org. And remember, real Texans don't litter. Please spay and neuter your pets.
Tune in every Sunday night right here on Lone Star Internet Radio for adventure, romance, thrills, chills, and everything vintage radio drama can bring. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour comes to you every Sunday at 7 p.m. with brand new episodes monthly. Our productions always feature actors, music, and sound effects performed completely live. And now you can enjoy seeing each new episode performed on stage at the Owen Theater in Conroe. Check out www.irlonestar.com for information about upcoming episodes. Relive the glory days of vintage radio drama right here with the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour on Lone Star Internet Radio.
At Jazzy Junk, volunteers reclaim, restore, and recycle. Jazzy Junk is a non-profit resale storefront where you will discover wonderful, unique finds at very affordable prices on furniture, antiques, books, art, home decor, and more. When you shop Jazzy Junk, you support New Danville, a community for adults with developmental disabilities. We receive new donations daily, so plan a visit to Jazzy Junk today to find that perfect item or gift. Our motto is here today, gone today. So remember to hurry in and shop often for the best selection. Jazzy Junk is located in the outlets at Conroe on League Line Road and I-45 North. Call 936-441-4500 or visit our website, jazzyjunk.org. That's JUNQUE for more information and store hours.
Welcome back to Aperture and Shutter Speed. I am Chelsea Williams, and I've been talking to Ellen O'Reilly, who is a local photographer. If you have any questions, you can call 936-647-3776, and please feel free to comment on our Facebook page. Ellen, so you were telling us all about yourself as a photographer and how you sell your work, but I know that I met you at the Conroe Art League. Mm-hmm. And I haven't been a member of the Art League that long, just a few months. But what other organizations are you a part of, and how do you think that they kind of help you?
I've been part of the Woodlands Art League, as that's actually where I started out. And then that led me to the Conroe Art League. But I became involved with it when my next-door neighbor at the time, Kathleen Rowland, she saw some of my work and suggested I become a member. And so she encouraged me to give it more exposure, and that was around 2002 or 3. And so I've been with them for quite a while, and they are part of the Lone Star Art Guild, so I'm also involved with that when they have shows, and I've done a lot of shows through them and through the Conroe Art League and Woodlands Art League. But I like the Conroe Art League because it just seems to fit my needs better, and the people are very friendly and nice, and the gallery's beautiful. I like the historic building. It is a beautiful
gallery.
Mm-hmm. They really do a good job there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like I said, I'm kind of new in the group, and I don't know everything about it. I know that when they do competitions, it has to do with the Lone Star, or what did you say before?
The Lone Star Art Guild?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't understand that. How is that all connected?
The guild is a group of all the different leagues in the area. So there'll be leagues from all over Montgomery County, and they're all like under this umbrella of the Lone Star Art Guild. And they will put on art shows, and you can enter your art in there, and they'll give you first, second, third place, honorable mention ribbons for your work. It's all judged. They will have a qualified judge come in and go through them all. And
so you're classified as a photographer. The artists, I know they all also have painters and sketch artists. So how do you think you fit in with all the other artists there in the gallery?
Well, I'm what is classified as a non-professional photographer.
Okay.
Then there's also professional photographer. And so they have different categories, and they break it down quite a bit for everybody so that you get a fair judge on your artwork.
Yeah. So. Well, I liked what I've done with it, and being in there. There is a lot of beautiful work in there, and the photographs. There's some gorgeous photographs in there. So it's definitely an art form.
Very good exposure.
Yeah.
Too, and that's another reason I wanted to join. an art league, is you promote my work, get people to recognize it, and just get more exposure.
Well, I love the fact that it looks like kind of a museum, setting.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very proper. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You like the Conroe Art League. What's the difference in the Conroe Art League and the Woodlands Art League? Can you tell me?
Well, I like the location, for one thing, and I just thought it was a little more organized.
How do you think these groups have helped you build relationships and maybe even improve your photography skills? Do you think, collaborating with other photographers has helped you through these organizations?
Yes, definitely. You get to talk to all different artists and different photographers, and they share their information with you. They'll critique and give you hints of and inspiration also. But a lot of times I've had an artist come up to me and just say, what I would do with that, or here's another idea, and it gets me off on a whole nother track, and
right.
So you learn things that way, and you also I've also sold things through the gallery that I probably wouldn't have if I didn't have that venue to share it in. But just sharing your work with other people and getting their comments and opinions is very worthwhile.
Well, I definitely think having a place where you can, have like-minded people, where you can talk about your work, and you can, it's kind of a judgment-free zone where you can all just kind of talk about, oh, yeah, that's good, I would do that, or maybe change that.
Yeah, true.
That's good. And I know we talked about critiques earlier, and at the beginning, when people critique your work, you're kind of like, wait a minute, but it does help in a lot of ways if they do it respectfully. Right.
And a lot of times there's things that you just don't see.
Yeah, you just don't
and
see it.
It's good to have your eyes open like that, because then it improves your work. So
absolutely.
You're constantly growing.
Yeah, I know I've had a few critiques where it is something you just absolutely didn't see, and at first it's kind of stings. You're like, no, this is the perfect picture.
Right.
There was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, that happened to me in class one time when they held up a picture, and the teacher said, what's wrong with this picture? And I was kind of like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a great picture.
Yeah. But then when you're watching,
then they pointed out those little details.
Yeah. And then I think it's funny because you watch other people's critiques, and in your mind you're like, I wouldn't have done that. So you can see all the issues with other people's work. It's a little bit harder to see them with your own. So I think it is helpful to have other photographers to kind of talk with and build that relationship. So do you, these friendships that you made in these groups, do you all go out and shoot together? Do you do anything, work together?
I've met a few people that we really get along together, so that we'll schedule our time at the gallery at the same time. And then we have time to visit and talk about things like that.
Yeah.
So that's been good about that. And then a lot of times we'll get together socially.
Yeah.
Afterwards, after a show or something.
You can tell at the Art League that people are friends over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very friendly.
Yeah. So you've already told us your website, and you told us that you sell your art online, and you can make it into a bunch of different things. What do you currently do to promote that, other than just word of mouth, or do you use Facebook? Or
well, my most visible way right now to promote my work is on Facebook. And my business page is Ellen's Inspired Creations. And that's where I have most of my current things, or current news about what I'm working on, and samples of my work, and projects that I'm having the work. So, and on that page you also have a link that I think it's Shop Now or something. If you click on that, it'll take you directly to the web page. And you can look through the galleries there that I have and click on different things that interest you. It makes it very easy, and then you can go right back to your Facebook page.
Right. And if you and like you were saying that you hand embellish Christmas cards and stuff like that, if you hand embellish these things, do you sell a few things not through your website, just like people could buy them and pick them up from you?
In that case, I have them sent to me. They order, which is what I just did recently, and they have them sent to me, and then I do the hand glittering, I package it up, and then I deliver them. But otherwise, you can just, if you don't want that, you can just order the cards from the site, and they'll come right to you.
Right. I don't know. I like the personal touch. I've always, one of the things a little embellished, a little extra.
Yeah.
But I do the same thing with my website where people, I like to talk about things one-on-one, but people can go on my website and turn their pictures into Christmas cards. They can turn it into ornaments, mugs, whatever they want to give people, wall portraits, and it prints through my lab and ships directly to them. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. I think they think it comes to me or that, and I never see it, honestly. It ships directly to them.
I'm in the process now of ordering one of each thing for myself just to see how it's delivered,
the process,
what it looks like when it's made, and how everything goes. I want to make a very smooth transition for clients who are ordering from the site.
Yeah.
What's funny about this site is they even do shower curtains, tote bags.
Oh, wow.
All kinds of things that you can use around the house. So.
Yeah. Well, my lab, I know if I order something myself and I don't go through my website, if I do it myself, I get it overnight. And I know if people order through my website, they have to pay quite a bit for overnight shipping if they want it that way. So every now and then I'll tell people, if you need it now, just let me do it on my side and it'll come quicker. But other than that, it's the same process, it's the same quality. It's just them being able to shop at 3:00 in the morning if they wanted to.
Right.
And
it's convenient.
there are a lot of times where I'll wake up in the morning and see that somebody was shopping in the middle of the night, and I'm like, great.
Making money while you sleep.
Yeah,
that's pretty
the
good.
best way to do it, isn't it? I love that. I love waking up to a sale. So what, you've been working on Christmas cards right now. After Christmas, do you have anything that you plan on working on, or?
I've got a couple of projects that I started before that I had to kind of put on the back burner. That I was thinking to put in the gallery, but I'd like to get those finished. And then I'd also like to refine my website because it's pretty new. I just got on it this year, and I need to add a lot more pictures and get more familiar with it.
Yeah.
So that'll be another thing that I want to do, and probably just concentrate on promoting my work more and doing some marketing.
What would you, there's tons of different ways you can market. What do you think you're going to try?
I'm going to get a little more organized and about what I put on Facebook and what I put on my website, and then I'll also be more active in the gallery, word of mouth.
Have you ever tried Facebook ads?
I haven't yet, but I think I may.
You think you may?
Mm-hmm. It may be worth it.
Yeah. They work. What I like about Facebook ads is it's very targeted. You can pick a specific kind of person that you want to look at your stuff, and it's interesting.
Has that worked well for you?
I don't use it a whole lot. I've used it a few times in the past, and it works really well.
Okay.
But mostly I like word of mouth because what I do is so personal that I like people to know somebody who's already had a session with me so that their friends can tell them about it and they know what to expect. I kind of prefer that a little bit more.
Right.
If you'll stay with us and answer a few more questions for us, we're going to have a short little break and stick with us on Aperture and Shutter Speed. We'll be right back.
The Conroe YMCA's benchmark adaptive programming for kids and adults is Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is an equine-assisted therapy program serving children and adults with adaptive needs. The writers in our Leap of Faith program are working to address and manage specific aspects of their lives impacted by illness, injury, or disability. The Leap of Faith program has experience working with writers who are living with attention deficit or other hyperactivity disorders, hearing impairments, visual impairments, developmental delays or disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, head traumas, brain injuries, and paralysis. Our program uses horseback riding to develop self-confidence and self-esteem, to increase upper and lower body strength, assist in respiratory issues, and establish a trusting relationship between the rider and their horse. Not only do these activities aid in the physical and mental development of the rider, but they also foster self-reliance and independence. For more information regarding our program, to become a rider, or to volunteer with a great group of people, please call our Welcome Center at 936-441-9622 or visit our website at www.ymcahouston.org/Conroe.
Tune in every Sunday night right here on Lone Star Internet Radio for adventure, romance, thrills, chills, and everything vintage radio drama can bring. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour comes to you every Sunday at 7 p.m. with brand new episodes monthly. Our productions always feature actors, music, and sound effects performed completely live. And now you can enjoy seeing each new episode performed on stage at the Owen Theater in Conroe. Check out www.irlonestar.com for information about upcoming episodes. Relive the glory days of vintage radio drama right here with the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour on Lone Star Internet Radio.
SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County is a 501c3 all-volunteer-based rescue and adoption organization with a no-kill policy for healthy and adoptable animals. Our goals are fourfold: to rescue and rehabilitate homeless animals, to provide a safe haven for the animals until a suitable adoption or foster care home is found or until they are reunited with their owner, to educate the public about the great need to reduce pet population, which includes the importance of having their pets spayed and neutered, and to further the cause for humane and responsible pet ownership, and to provide a low-cost spay-neuter clinic for people who are unable to afford to spay or neuter their pets otherwise. SPCA PetSnap of Montgomery County encourages you to think adoption first. You can contact us at www.spcaofmc.com.
Welcome back to Aperture and Shutter Speed. This is the photography radio show. We're talking about photography. I'm here with Ellen O'Reilly. We've been talking about her artistic side and how she sells her work and promotes herself. If you've missed any of the show, it will be in the archives eventually on irlonestar.com/ASS for Aperture and Shutter Speed. Ellen, so you were telling us about your photography and how you like to do more artistic stuff. Mm-hmm. Where do you feel like you get your creative inspiration, or how do you feel like you work best?
It's usually inspiration is like constantly coming to me from just other people, from things I see, just going mm-hmm. about my day. So yeah, it seems like I have more than I can actually deal with. So I've got a lot of projects that I've started, and I work on those on my program on my computer and try to make it a reality.
Okay, I have to ask, you keep saying program. What program do you use?
Oh, it's one that actually just came with the computer because it's very simple, Microsoft Digital. Uh-huh. And it had the tools that I needed. And I was with Adobe Photoshop for a while, but it was much more complicated than I needed it to be for what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So the one I use, I just it's easier to bring my ideas to life, and I know there's a common misconception about digital photography that you're just pushing a few keys and the computer does all the work for you, and it's not really art, and it's not but it's just like a painter using their tools it's not the tools that are making the painting.
Right.
It's how you're using the tools.
Right.
So that's what I do with the digital photography.
I saw a really good quote to that effect the other day about how I think it was a typewriter didn't write a novel, any more than the camera took created the picture or something like that. Or I don't know, maybe I got that mixed up.
It's like that. You just have to have that artistic touch.
Yeah, definitely. And I think a lot of people think that way of, technology is so amazing these days, and there's all this digital stuff you can do. Anybody can do it. And I mean, there is a level of skill and, like you said, creativity. It's your inspiration that you're making, pull something out, something completely new. But I think you're right. It is the tools of the trade. And for me, I use Photoshop, but I mean, years ago, people used enlargers and did darkroom processing, and it's just a different form of processing.
Yes, I did start out with film, black and white.
Did you?
And I went to the Glassell School of Art for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that whole process, but it was so time consuming.
Oh, I loved it.
Where you go through, so many steps to get just one picture.
Right.
And then if it doesn't turn out, you go start all over again. But that's why I got into the digital after that. And I thought, wow, this is so much easier. And you can do so many more things with it. You could take like 1,000 pictures and just pick the one that you like best and then work on that.
But see, that was the trick of it. I remember I had a final in college one year, and we were talking about the zone system and stuff like that. And that was the trick, is that you had to go out, and he gave us a project of find certain things, and you had to process the film perfectly, and you had to process the prints. I think we did process the film, we did a contact sheet, and then we did like small pictures. And I think I was like the only one in the class to do all of it perfectly, and that was like the biggest, coolest thing for me.
Right.
I was so excited. I was
sense of pride in that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I was the dork who likes darkroom, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just a different way of processing, but it's still tools of an art. Yeah. Absolutely. So like many artists have people that they've looked up to. You said you've taken classes and done stuff like that. Have you ever had a mentor along the way that kind of guides you along or helps you?
I actually did when I went to the Aldenbridge Conservatory that was having an art show, and that was put on by the Woodlands Art League at the time. And I met a 92-year-old artist and painter there. His name's Ben Rosen. And when I saw his work displayed, he had some things up there. I just thought it was masterful. And I had to go seek him out and meet him. And since then, we've become very good friends. And he has given me a lot of good advice on marketing, on improving my art, all kinds of things. We meet every now and then for lunch and just discuss things. And right now he's working on helping me get the right name on the company, and so that it exemplifies what I'm all about, and people will know exactly what I have to offer when they see the logo and the name and all that stuff. So I'm kind of in the process of changing a few things there due to his input.
I think that's really interesting. A lot of people act like, oh, I'm older, I can't get into marketing and all that. You're getting advice from somebody who's in his 90s. I mean,
he has a wealth of information.
Yes. I mean, so I hate it when people cop out and say, well, I'm too old to do this. I'm like, no, you're not. That's an excuse, because, I mean, you're right. You can learn from anybody, and anybody can learn. And I think it's wonderful that you've built a relationship with somebody like that who can teach you a few things.
Mm-hmm. I really value his wisdom.
Yeah. And anybody out there, if you can find a mentor, I think that is an amazing thing that helps people grow, is having somebody that can kind of guide you along, and you can trust to ask their honest opinion and things like that. So I would definitely recommend anybody who can find somebody to learn from and have an open mind for learning. That's the best way.
Right.
Absolutely.
And classes too. When I went to the classes, that at first I was thinking that I don't really want to take classes and have them tell me exactly how to do things and have my work look like everyone else's. And but they don't really teach you what to do so much as they give you guidelines to go by, and then you can create what you want using those guidelines. So it was a good thing, and I learned quite a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everybody has a completely different style, but you need to learn the basics of how to make a good image, no matter what your image is. Right. And composition and lighting. And, I know you're in a completely different world because I'm in the portrait side. Right. But I do a little bit of art because I had a few of my art pieces at the Art League. I had a tulip in there for the show, and apparently somebody took it home. I don't know who it was, but it's hanging on somebody's wall.
Well, that's great.
But yeah, learning, just going to classes and learning lighting and composition and all those things. You do that, and then you add your style to it.
Exactly. That's what, and I highly recommend getting educated. A lot of people say, I'm a self-taught artist or photographer, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you could improve on it. Right. If you do, get some professional training.
So you've named a couple of different places. Tell me again, what are the places that you took classes from that you recommend?
The Glassell School of Art in Houston. They're more geared to the art side of things. I took the black and white film photography there. And then the Art Institute of Houston, which I thought was more geared to artsy, creative things, but it was more geared to the corporate world and commercial. Right. But still, a lot of valuable lessons learned there and required courses that you wouldn't think would apply to photography, but like drawing. And that added a lot of information to what I was learning and teaching you to see tones and different things that you wouldn't normally look for.
Right. And I think there are a lot of photographers who look to art and, the art of painting and the art of sculpture for inspiration for their photography and just as a different way of seeing things. I know we had Brian DeMent on the show last spring, and he was talking about how he watches, old films and looks at design and all these things for inspiration for his work. And I don't know, it definitely helps you become your own person and your own photographer.
I'll go to museums and just look at everything in the museum, and I'll get inspirations from that. Yeah. I need to take a picture of this because I have an idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a lot of ways to get inspiration.
Yeah. Well, I did have a few more things to ask, but I was going to see if, I'm glad you were here, but see if you stay with us and just kind of talk photography and talk shop with us for a few more minutes and I was going to talk about things people can do around the holidays to save just a little bit of time. And I know everybody needs extra time right now. So if you'll stick with us, we're going to go to break and be back with Aperture and Shutter Speed.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
Hi folks, it's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and I want to invite you to join me every Saturday morning right here on Lone Star Internet Radio from 8 to 9 for Outdoors with Luke Clayton and Friends. Bill Dance is a frequent guest. Larry Weisser, Mr. Whitetail, is on the show every week. We talk a lot of hunting and fishing and generally have a good time. So remember, every Saturday morning, 8 to 9, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. We are proud to sponsor 10 philanthropic programs that enhance the lives of those in our community. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. Doing business since 1980. Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
The Conroe YMCA's benchmark adaptive programming for kids and adults is Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is an equine-assisted therapy program serving children and adults with adaptive needs. The riders in our Leap of Faith program are working to address and manage specific aspects of their lives impacted by illness, injury, or disability. The Leap of Faith program has experience working with riders who are living with attention deficit or other hyperactivity disorders, hearing impairments, visual impairments, developmental delays or disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, head traumas, brain injuries, and paralysis. Our program uses horseback riding to develop self-confidence and self-esteem, to increase upper and lower body strength, assist in respiratory issues, and establish a trusting relationship between the rider and their horse. Not only do these activities aid in the physical and mental development of the rider, but they also foster self-reliance and independence. For more information regarding our program, to become a rider, or to volunteer with a great group of people, please call our Welcome Center at 936-441-9622 or visit our website at www.ymcahouston.org/Conroe.
Welcome back to Aperture and Shutter Speed. I'm Chelsea, here with Ellen, and we have been talking photography. I wanted to talk about a little bit about the holidays. Everybody's extremely busy, and different tips to save time or things people might do to save time. I know as a portrait photographer, I do all my own processing and editing, but I have in the past gotten like coupon codes through the PPA and stuff for retouchup.com, and I know that they can do some of the processing for you. They'll remove braces, they'll fix backgrounds, different stuff. I just think that's a great resource for anybody who just needs a little time-saving things. And I know that's, they'll take braces out for like $5, and they'll, completely change the background for like $10. So if you compare how long it would take you to do that to just let them do it, it'll be done. And I know they have coupons in like PPA magazine and stuff like that. Do you have any other things you use for the holidays to?
It's interesting when you say that about the editing and everything, that I'd see pictures on Facebook sometimes and I'd go, oh, I think I could touch that up and fix it up, and send it back to them. Like one that my daughter took, and her daughter was holding something off to the side because they were in a hurry. So I'll just take that out, And then you find out that not everybody wants that out.
Yeah.
This is what they want in the picture. They want to remember it that way. They want to remember the moment or whatever. So you have to be really careful when you are editing.
Yeah.
and ask them, get their input on what they want done like that.
Most people that I take pictures of want to just take everything.
Yeah.
Just take everything. Wrinkles, anything, just take it out.
When I work on any people pictures, I usually try to, I'll use a light touch, because if you take out too much, then it looks fake, and they don't look real. So I'll leave in a few little things that make them look real, but I'll soften.
I had a shoot this weekend, and it was 2 little girls. They looked beautiful. I had them where I was on the other side of a pond from them, and I could see their reflection in the water. It was like the perfect picture, but there was this guy that was walking his dog behind them, and he would not go away. He was just there, and so I was just like, whatever. I took the pictures, and it was really easy for me to go in and edit him out. But, I understand if people have a tremendous amount of shoots, having another website that you can kind of outsource to.
Right.
Just get some of that off your plate. And I've used them. Again, I had codes, so I was going to give them a try. And I tried them once when I had a picture of somebody. And normally I have no problems with eyeglasses giving glare. But these were like children's glasses, and they were like a sphere or something. And they had the most horrible glare on them. You could not see anything. And so I was like, if anybody could do it, I'm going to send it to them and see what they can do. And perfect. And I was like, how much time did I just save by not messing with that?
I think it's a great idea if people are have things that are time sensitive. They're making gifts. They want to give a picture, have it framed, whatever. And they don't have the time to deal with it. That's a great idea.
Not only, for me, I take care of my kids, and then after I put them to bed, that's when I start my editing. And so I start late at night, and I may be up till 1 or so in the morning. And if I can just get an extra hour of sleep, if I could just get a little more sleep and just let them handle that, that's what I like. I like to make everything as easy as possible.
Yeah.
And for simple things, I do everything myself, but I just thought that might be a good suggestion for anybody out there who's a little overwhelmed right now, that you can do that. So any other tips for the holidays? And people out taking tons of pictures right now?
Well, I just ordered some mugs with the grandkids' pictures on them, because we have a large family, and there's several kids in one family, so I thought, well, they can keep track of their own mug, put some hot chocolate in there and some marshmallows or something. But that's a good thing to do, and then everybody's, can see at a glance that's their
mug.
Their cup. But that's, an easy thing to do for the holidays, and you just, gather up a few pictures and send them in, and they can do them pretty quick.
Yeah. I'm all about the personal gift, and it does, doing something with pictures or something is very personal. I used some pictures that I took on vacation a few months ago with my aunt, and I made her a gift out of those pictures, and of course I'm going to do that. I'm the photo geek, and people are going to get all these photo gifts for Christmas, but
and ornaments too.
Yeah.
You can use them on ornaments.
Yeah. I went to Michael's yesterday, and they had like their do-it-yourself ornaments that are just kind of plain, like 70% off. And they had some wood ones with like a flat surface. And I don't use like a Mod Podge that glues it very much, but that would be kind of cute if you let a kid take like pictures and make their own like ornaments like that, and that'd be cute.
Those are good gifts for grandparents, that the kids can do, and they enjoy doing it, and they take pride in that.
Yeah, absolutely. So. I know my kids love it. And we were unpacking our holiday stuff, and my daughter broke a few of the ornaments that were in there, and I said, okay, now you have to make some. Your punishment is you have to make something cute. But I'm all for using photos for everything.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
I've got grandkids that'll go like, Grandma, no more. No more pictures. But we always take pictures at Christmas, and we get a lot of family shots there.
See, my problem is I do everybody else's shots during the perfect light time of day, and then I'm trying to do our family pictures, so I'm like, okay, when can we do these? Because I'm doing this session this time, and I want the perfect light. And so I tried to do some perfect pictures this past weekend, and we missed the light just by a little bit, so we gotta try again. And I know my kids are gonna be done with it soon.
Right. It's hard getting all those people together at the same time.
Yes. Yeah. And for us anyway, I can set everything up, but I really need somebody there to click. Like, I'll set it up, and then I'll run over there. I just need somebody there to click it as I run away.
You don't have a timer?
I do have a timer, but I also need them to, because my son, he's so small. I need somebody to kind of stand there with it, to be looking at the camera, and kind of get them to smile a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Yeah, I can do it on a timer, but he will just be looking everywhere.
At Thanksgiving, it was just me and my husband, so I set up the camera on a tripod and set it for to take 7 pictures in a row. And I just run into the picture and, go snap, 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 and pick the best one.
Yep.
That's the only way you can do it sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
well, our next show is supposed to be on December 22nd, but that's right, Christmas week. So I think we're gonna do a replay of something before. So if you haven't heard it before, it'll be new to you. And then the next live show will be January 12th. So we will not talk to y'all again before Christmas. So I just want to tell everybody Merry Christmas. And please listen to our shows on irlonestar.com/ASS. Until next time.
And everything looks worse in black and white.